All right, if you're fortunate enough to live in a state where you have multiple sportsbook options, you're probably asking yourself which one is the best to use. And let me tell you, there is undeniably only one correct answer, and that is all of them. Use all of them, and let me explain why. The most important rule of sports betting is find the best line. I promise this will make or break you as a sports bettor, and it will add up over the course of all your bets. All right, let me give you a real life example of why it's so important to line chop. All right, so let's look at the NBA slate for tonight. Warriors versus Wizards. You can see that Caesars has Warriors minus 10 and a half or minus 110, while DraftKings and FanDuel have them for minus 112. So right there, you're getting the better odds just by looking at Caesars if you're looking at FanDuel or DraftKings to begin with, as an example. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey, 2 cents, minus 110, minus 112. Is it really that big of a deal? And the answer is absolutely yes. If you haven't heard of the term break even percentage, definitely recommend you watch my video on that. It's hard enough to win in sports betting as it is. The more money you pay for a bet, that means the higher percentage of bets you have to win just to break even. And that is what kills bettors' bank accounts over the long term. All right, let's look at the next matchup, which is a perfect example of why you want to line shop and use an odd screen. Okay, we got the Nets versus the Magic. Now, if you look here, you can see Caesars has the Nets at +7, DraftKings has them at +9, and FanDuel has them at +7, and BetMGM has them at +8.5. So you see the lines are all over the place, and this happens all the time. If you don't know the difference between market maker books and retail books, also recommend you watch our video on that. But long story short, these retail books are copying the lines from market maker books, and they're often slow to do it, especially in different sports. And so what you see here is a wide discrepancy of books just sleeping and not being sharp on their line, and that you can take advantage of. So if you want the Nets and you only use Caesars, well, you have them at +7. But if you just took some time and looked at DraftKings or even BetMGM, you can get them at a better number or a better price. Same thing if you want to take the Magic. If you only use DraftKings, well, you're stuck at Magic -9. But if you're taking the time to look, you could have got them as low as -7. And every point matters. If you're a bettor, you absolutely know that. Now, you can certainly open up every app on your phone and manually check the lines one by one, or you can get an odd screen. If you're going to be anywhere near being a serious bettor, you're definitely going to have to start using the odd screen to get the best possible price and line. Now, there's a bunch of them out there. Some of them are free and they just run on a delay or a lag time, so you're not getting the actual real-time number. And some run more in real time, and those are the ones typically that are paid for. Now, full disclosure, we use Unabated because we have a collaboration with them. And the perk to you, though, is that we have a code for a free 5-day trial. If you want to try this out, just use the code BTB. Now, with that being said, I'm definitely not here to try to sell you on anything, but you want to use an eye screen, any one of your choosing, to definitely maximize your chances of winning bets and winning money in the long term. Now, when sports betting first got legalized and you saw these apps popping up, the FanDuels, the DraftKings, etc., there was a fight for market share. These companies were paying money to get customer loyalty and to get uses on their app. So you would see crazy sort of promos, what, like $1,000, $2,000, or $5,000 bonus bets, deposit match bonuses, you name it, they had it because they were fighting for the market share. Now, since then, you've had the market share really sort of stabilize with FanDuel and DraftKings coming out as number 1 and number 2, some sports books jockeying for 3rd and 4th, and other sports books closing down or being bought out. Now that that's settled, you're not seeing anywhere near as generous offers coming from these books. And even with sports books that are part of hotel chains like Caesars or MGM, you're not seeing anywhere near as generous of a rewards program to earn tier credits for free rooms, etc. And even with the promos and the tier credits and the perks, nothing is more important than the cardinal rule of sports betting, which is always find the best line. Okay, so with that being said, that's why it's so important to use every app at your disposal, especially if you're in a state that has multiple options. The more outs you have or apps you have, the better it is for you. Now, personally, there are some apps I hate the experience on. I find them buggy, laggy, it's an overall terrible time, but I will bet there if they have the best line. And vice versa. There are some apps where I feel like the UI is seamless, it's a smooth experience. But if they have the worst lines, I'm not going to put my money there. So you're going to find out, you're going to see bets that are exist on some apps that don't exist on others, and the prices that can vary as well. So when you ask yourself, what app should you be using? What's the best app to use? Loyalty is not a thing anymore. Winning money is where your loyalty should be. And to do that, you need to have all of them. So hope that helps. And as always, good luck.